Hi, this is Glenn Francisco, and I'm going to show you how to use a cloud-based printer slicing software if you are printing to your 3D printer from a Chromebook. So this process will work also with Windows or any other computer that you use, because cloud-based basically means that you're going to a website and letting the website print for you. So to begin with, our schools in state agency in Louisville, Kentucky, which this video is being created for, use primarily the Makerbot Replicator Plus. This video is for anybody else also who is using that printer to help you with an easy way, especially teachers who are using Chromebooks, to be able to print to that printer. What you'll need to do, and I'm going to show you basically here, this is the printer that typically is being used in our state agency schools. This is the Replicator Plus. Now, any Makerbot printer will also work with this software. And it's CloudPrint by Makerbot. So it's the printer software that's created just for their products. If you have a different type of printer, there are different other types of slicing software. Also, if you have a Windows-based computer, you can download desktop programs that will do the same thing. It may be even a little bit easier at some point. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. The first thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to go to Makerbot.com, log in, I think. And then here you'll want to log in. Now, I've got a better link here. Let me see if I can get you to it. All right, let's try cloudprint.makerbot.com. Cloudprint.makerbot. And we're going to click on that first link, introducing Makerbot CloudPrint. And all right, and then we're going to click on login. And then we're going to go where it has the sign-in script over here. Let me scoot this up out of the way a bit. And then scroll down. I'm going to use my arrow key to move down a little bit. And I'm going to use the sign in with Google option. And then as a teacher, we have a Google account set up. So use your teacher Google account to get logged in. And you can see you're all set to go. It'll take you to a main page. It says no printers found, not associated with this account. Now, this is if you are going to be using your phone or another device to print to a physical printer in a different way. We don't need to do this process this way. What you want to be able to do here is print preparation. We don't need workspace management. We're doing print preparation. And then we need to get a printer set up here. So in print preparation, we are looking for printers. Let's see, is it settings? Printer by type. Okay, this is it. So it by default says Method X. That's a certain type of Makerbot printer. We have the Replicator Plus, so we're going to be changing Method X to Replicator Plus. And now you can see we have a bed. This is called the printer bed. This is the physical plate that the objects are printed on. This represents the printing surface that's in the Replicator Plus in the same size dimensions. All right, so at this point, this is all ready to go, and it says drag files onto the build plate or press upload to get started. So now that our printer, the CloudPrint is configured, we can go and we can get something and then drag it onto the plate to get it ready to build. Now, why are we going to want to do this? Because the files that you will go search for are usually in what's called STL format. That is a format that's a generic format for 3D printing that is not yet customized to the dimensions of your specific printer. And your printer has software that then takes these generic files and converts them into something that the printer can communicate with. It's just like when you use an HP printer, a Lexmark printer, or whatever printer, they have to have a certain code that talks to this printer so the printer can understand what it is they're supposed to do. And it's in a different language for each different type of printer and model number. Those are called drivers. So it's similar to that here. What we're doing is we're going to create a file that can talk to the printer so it knows what to do. All right, so first of all, we're going to go look for something. We're going to try to find something that we can print on Thingiverse. Common. This is a place, it's called a file repository. Basically, people create things. They've already designed them, so you're not going to be doing design here. You're just going to find things that you think are cool, and then you're going to download them and then print them. All right, so Thingiverse, and you may need to set up an account to go search. Actually, I don't think you do, but if you do, of course, you can sign up over here on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and search for one of the coolest things that I've found. It's called the Infinity Cube. And I've come around to some of the sites already and installed this file on your computers. But if you don't have it already to use, you can come here. And there's all kinds of different fidgets that are called infinity cubes and stuff like that. But the one that I've used and been most successful with is this one here with the 3 cubes shown in the picture. So I'm going to click that. And you can see there were 4 different types just showing on my screen. Made by different printers, people, different designers put things up here. And watch out, because it does force you sometimes to download extra files. Like here, if you go download all files, it's going to really it could put other software on your computer that you don't want, that's not related to the product. This is it's one of these free software sites, so it does tend to trick you a little bit, but it is the most popular 3D print design site. So it is really good. You just have to navigate around it well. So I'm scrolling down to just below the picture, and then you can see all of the details about this this particular 3D print file. It has thing details, thing files, comments, makes, remixes, all this stuff. And so what you're looking for are the thing files, which are right here. So I'm going to click that, and I can see there are 2 different types of files here. There is an F3D file, which is a different file for a different purpose. We'll talk about that another day. But the one that you want is always going to be the STL file. So it's going to end with .stl. I'm going to go over to the right of that, click download, and it will bring it down and put it right into a file down below. You'll notice here it's blinking, and I've got a notification that is there. Download complete now. I'm going to go ahead and click on that to open it. Oops, not there. I'm going to go over here where I've got all these file icons, and I've got these downloads here. So I'm going to click on the arrow next to downloads to open up the file location. And you'll notice this window is small. I'm going to show you how I can make that small like I just did. And we're looking for the files we just got. I believe they got put into Google Drive, so I'm going to check my drive. And I'm going to look under, if it gives me an option for recent, it's the easiest way to find it. I don't see my recent options, so I'm just going to search in Drive. And I'm going to scroll down. I'm just going to use I'm going to click on a folder and then use my down arrow. You can see I've got my camera on my keyboard here, so you can watch what I'm doing with my hand. I'm going down to where I passed the last folder. And you can see I've just passed, see how the folder icons look one way. They've got the little tab thing on the top of it. And we're going to just beyond that, where we have the little icon that looks more like a piece of paper with a tab on the corner folded over. And we're going to the infinity cube. Now, I've already done this once before, so you can see I've got it. I don't want the STL. Oh, actually, I do want the STL. You will be creating this other file here, which I've already done previously, and I'm going to show you that process. That's going to be called a Makerbot file, and that's the file extension that indicates that it's ready for your Makerbot printer to understand how to read that file. So here's our STL file. Now, we need to take this and we need to drag it over to the other program. I don't know if you all know how to do this already, but I do want to show you something that is useful. Alt-Tab is something that's very useful to navigate back and forth from screens. So I'm going to put my camera here where you can see. All right, hold on. Let me just press the button on my camera. All right, here we go. Alt, I'm going to hold down my thumb on the Alt key and press it and hold it down. And I'm going to tap up here on this Tab key. So tap it one time. And you can see when I tap it one time, it shows all my windows that are open. I've got 3 windows. I've got this picture, camera of me. I've got files over here on the left side that are open that we were just looking at. And then I've got Thingiverse. It's open in the Chrome browser. So I'm going to go over to the Chrome browser and look at that. All right. And then I'm going to do, I think it's Alt. Oh, it's Control, and then it's this bracket key over here, I believe. Alt, maybe it's Alt bracket. Okay. Did you see what that just did? That just Control or Alt here, holding it down and pressing the bracket splits your screen. And so now what we're wanting to do is we're actually wanting to go to, and I'm in the wrong one. I want to go to the Makerbot. So I'm going to click over here on the Makerbot CloudPrint within Chrome, because remember we had Thingiverse open and we also had Makerbot CloudPrint open. We're going to go to the CloudPrint and we're going to see that bed here, and it's saying drag the files from on the build plate. So we're going to go and grab this STL file. I know you can't see the name of it, but you can see this is the STL file here that I've got my mouse over. I'm going to click. Oops. Oh, actually, before I do that, you can see it's going to need to be, it's going to have to be minimized. So I'm going to go here to this restore button to make it just a little bit smaller. And I'm going to have to go back down to that file. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, but we're going to go down to right there where the infinity cube is. And I have to make sure that that's my STL. Let me just drag this over. Make it a little bit wider. This is tedious. This is definitely tedious. All right, that's the Makerbot file. So I'm glad I looked. I want to get this one here. And I'm going to click over here where it's going to go. I'm going to take this. It's this file. See, it says STL file. I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it. Oops. Try again. Take it and drag it and put it right here. All right. And there it goes. So now it's all the way over. I'm going to make this full screen now. So restore the browser, full screen. And now we're looking at the infinity cube sitting on the printer, fully printed. This is what it's going to look like when you finish the printing process. And what I want to do is I want to take a closer look at it. So let's see if we can zoom in on that a little bit. Get that out of the way. There it is. Okay, right there on the left, there is a zoom in button. And there's our infinity cube. Now, we want to take a look at it and see how it looks when it's sliced. So let's see what happens when it prints. When you click on print preview, it's going to walk you through what the slicing process will look like. And you can see inside here, there are all kinds of pieces that are going to be installed and put together. This is going to make this item print all fully assembled with all of its mechanical pieces without having to snap it together, and they're all permanently fixed together. It's absolutely amazing. And so here it's going through the print process, showing you what it's going to look like slice by slice as it comes through. Now, you don't have to run the print preview, but this is just to show you how it's going to end up building itself. Now, there's a couple options here that by default show up. I would say leave them alone. The raft is the piece that goes underneath, and that allows it to be fastened more in the most optimal way to the print bed. One problem that can happen with 3D printing is the plastic pops up during the print process because it's cooling, and it contracts on the print bed and it pulls away and pops off, and then it warps up, and then it doesn't print right, and then it starts sliding around and it ruins the print. Having the raft there gives you an expanded surface, which this then prints on. So don't worry about it, but always choose raft, because raft will help secure it to the print plate. And that's pretty much everything you need to do to get started with that. And then all you have to do next is so easy. You do want to make sure that your printer does have whatever it says up here. So if you've got PLA, you definitely want to have PLA in your printer. The PLA is a type of plastic, and typically your printer will run on PLA. If it doesn't, you can go into the settings, which I'll show you on another occasion how to go in and change that over to one of the other materials, which ABS would be another potential material that you might see on your printer. But check the spool and make sure that you do have PLA if you are going to be printing with the PLA option on here. All right, that's it. Click export. It's going to make that Makerbot file. So here it is, infinitykube.makerbot is now in the folder. This can now be taken and put on a flash drive. So you'll definitely need to have a flash drive that you can put into the Chromebook, which then goes into the printer. Now, the printer does have a flash drive with it, so you shouldn't have a problem acquiring a flash drive as long as nobody has taken that flash drive and done something else with it. So look in your 3D printer and pull that flash drive out, put it in your Chromebook into the USB slot, and then you print over to it. I'm gonna, well, I could go grab one, but basically it's, yeah, let me go ahead, I'll grab it. All right, so I've got a flash drive here, and I'm going to put that in the slot over here. All right. Okay, and so I'm going to go to the Files app, and we are going to start moving these files around. All right, so on my USB drive, now you can see that's highlighted. These are things that are already on my drive. I'm going to go over to my downloads first. Actually, where was it? It's in my Google Drive. And click here, use my down arrow. I'm pressing with my keyboard to go down. And I'm going to the InfinityCube.Makerbot right here. And I'm going to take that and just drag it and put it in my USB drive up here. All right, so there you go. It's in the USB drive now. And basically everything, you can see now I've got it in here. At some future point, you may want to organize things so you can find things a little bit better, but that Infinity Cube is ready to go and be put into your printer. And then if you follow the instructions that I've included in the previous video, it will show you how to go ahead and print from that USB drive, and you're all set to go at this point. So any questions, feel free to reach out and ask them, and I'll respond to you as questions come in. Thank you.